Jim, I'm looking at you. Arsenal are getting busy confirming the £48.5 million pound/dollar/pound, definitely pound, signing of Chelsea's Noni Madueke last week. There's a lot of talk of where he's going to play. He's got a bit of experience on the left, certainly the back end of the season. He's a really sort of inventive player, but his consistency always in doubt.
I know you don't always do this because Marcus normally does it. You want to start with asking Jim to justify personally why some Arsenal fans have been pissed off that they're signing him. No matter. If you don't do it, I'm going to wait on him.
Okay. His consistency is in doubt, Jim Campbell. Why do you think the Arsenal
fans are fuming?
Why are the fans fuming, Jim?
There we go.
Why are the fans fuming?
So
at 23, could Arteta get something out of him?
Sorry, Pete. Why are you fuming?
Well, I'm on the light side of fuming.
Right.
Okay.
I'm
bristle.
Yeah.
Is it a bristle?
I wouldn't even say I'm bristling. So long-term listeners of the show will know that whenever Noni Madueke comes up, I'm full of praise for him. I really like him as a player, and he's an interesting addition because there's been a massive issue with depth on the right-hand side when Bukayo Saka's not available.
It was noticeable last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. When Yeri did a really good job there, but he's kind of earmarked for a more central role in the future, so I think they're trying to kind of take that away. So Madueke solves that problem pretty profoundly, really. I think he's a fantastic player off the off the right. The slight concern I have is that it feels like Arsenal need an upgrade on the left.
Yeah.
And Madueke's numbers, admittedly from a small sample size, are very different on the left to what they are on the right. And I don't know if it moves the needle on Martinelli or Trossard. Both got more goals and more assists than Madueke last season. And obviously he's playing in his natural position or his favoured position for most of those numbers. So it's an interesting one, but I think there might be another addition that can also feature on the left. There's a lot of talk of Eber Chiesa, there's talk of Xavi Simons now, which I think is probably a little bit fanciful, but who knows? So it might be that actually it is a depth signing on either side. Possibly one of Trossard and Martinelli moves on as well. So it's kind of difficult to know exactly how I feel about it until the squad has taken shape.
Sure.
But I do think he improves the forward line, undoubtedly, because it is light generally. He's got a lot of potential.
He's only been available 46 matches.
Yeah, he didn't have a great injury record when he was at PSV, but obviously that's a little while ago now, so hopefully he's moved on from that. The fee's been a kind of a sticking point for a lot of people, but it does seem to be the market rate when you look at Elanga and Kudus as well.
Why do fans care about the fee?
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? It's like we think it's our own money.
They don't care. They don't know the detail on it.
Yeah.
And Arsenal aren't close to PSR issues, are they?
I don't believe so, although I suspect they're going quite hard this summer, and I reckon part of the reason that there's kind of all this haggling over the Gyokeres add-ons might be because they're kind of looking at getting close to that if they bring someone else in.
Right.
The issue I feel like is that it's one of timing and a little bit of an overarching feeling from Arsenal fans about where Arsenal are. And what I mean by that is the timing is that it kind of came about at the same time that everyone started talking about Eze, which is a super exciting player that everyone wants. It's like, it feels like through no fault of his own and through no comment on how good he is as a player, in that context, Madueke feels like a consolation prize.
Yeah.
Secondly, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, Jim, because obviously I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I get the impression, having been to Arsenal a few times last season and obviously being around some of their fans, that they get annoyed when Arsenal make a signing which is a bit of a kind of, he's a one-size-fits-all. He can kind of play across the forward line, and he might give you back up, and he might play on the right, and what they actually want really is someone
who knows their position.
and they want Gyokeres over the line. They want to clearly be able to have a satisfaction or a satisfactory conclusion to a perceived and identified weakness in a position.
Yeah, I think so, and I think actually that's half true in that, I mean, I can only speak for myself personally, but I think actually Arteta values versatility a lot. So people do want to see that, so it makes you unpredictable. But how often do we hear about players where they can play on the right or they can play on the left? But the reality is that they are much better on one side.
Well,
the frustration is that's happening when it's fixing a problem on one side while exacerbating one on the other.
And Madueke is a left-footed, right-sided player, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we don't know how good Arteta can get out of him on the left, if he feels he can be coached. He's still a relatively young player. I think I've seen enough of him to think he looked like he could be really good.
He's still only 23.
Yeah, right. But if it's any impression it's going to be like a square peg in a round hole, I'm sorry to say it, Arsenal fans will just fucking moan about it. That's how it is.
Well, it depends how Depends how it goes, doesn't it? I think one of the things about the signing that I really like, and it's consistent with the other signings, is that he's really, really direct. He loves just getting straight into the box, looking for a cross, looking for a shot. He takes a lot of shots.
He's quick. He's just quick as well.
And maybe the point is having a left footer on the left side, and they're trying to do something different. Maybe they'll mix it up within games. We've seen PSG do that a lot, and a lot of the top managers are magpies with those things, So maybe we'll see other teams doing that more. But
a lot of criticism when he's played for Chelsea is just his final sort of decision making. Would that be improved by the fact that Arsenal are a bit more holistically put together side? They just seem to be more together and less kind of it's less confusing to watch Arsenal compared to Chelsea.
Maybe, yeah. I think because there is Arteta's heavy on coaching particular things, isn't it? It's like if you're in X position, make Y pass or look for X player. So possibly it absolutely feels like a coaching issue. But obviously, Madueke has that quality. It's said about Gyokeres that he's an absolute fiend for the goal, isn't he? He's always looking to get in behind. He's always looking to go directly to goal. Even Martin Zubimendi and even Christian Norgard are both very progressive passers. And Arsenal have been quite ponderous in build-up, and they let teams settle behind them, and then you have the low block situation that they struggle to break down quite often. And it feels to me like all of these players are about fixing that. And I think Madueke fits in with that. So I'm quite excited to see how he fits in.
Can I ask
I understand why people are frustrated by signing yet another player from Chelsea, for example. Cucurella within 3 years, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's definite.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question before we move on about the fact, is it frustrating that Arteta only seems to want to sign kind of good little system boys who only play in the system, and there's no kind of flexibility.
One-off man mentals.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Well, I
should have said that.
I think actually he's trying to fix that with whoever the possible final signing of the window is, be that Eza, Simmons or someone in that profile, because that was a massive problem for times last year where there was just no answer to unpicking a lock.
Yeah.
Well,
Pete likes the lock picking lawyer on YouTube, so
I do.
Probably
I've not watched his updated ones, to be honest.
Who is that?
He's a lawyer who just picks locks on.
It's exactly
on
what
YouTube,
it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just to tell
Clues
you
in the name.
Basically, any lock you've ever seen is pickable. Some very, very easy.
So he needs to go and give a talk to the players at
to how to
Arsenal.
unpick stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And if he opened with that, guys, sit down. Take your headphones off.
No, we haven't got the striker yet. We've got something better.
But every lock is unpickable.
Yeah, the lock between your heart and your head.
I think Arteta would go for that. You telling me you couldn't see Arteta doing that?
He'd lock himself or lock someone. He'd lock Gyokeres in some room in the Arsenal stadium. It'll be the new Arsenal Stadium mystery.
Yeah.
And the lock-picking lawyer and the rest of the Arsenal squad have to find him. They are going to be heading out to Asia. Arsenal are set to face AC Milan and Newcastle in Singapore. Then Spurs in Hong Kong. Gyokeres is not going to be there for that leg of their pre-season preparations.
He said, "I'll do it all, but I'm not playing Spurs.
I'm not going to Singapore. I'm not going to play Spurs in Hong Kong." So the earliest he's going to be over the line is August the 6th, when they are going to be hosting Villarreal in their first pre-season game back from Asia. Apparently, Gyokeres is not over the line quite yet. His father has been presumably trying to grease the wheels with his own tears.
Yeah, I think
he's been crying a lot. But
it's like
he's consoling his dad.
Can I read the headline for you, Jim?
Sure.
Before you get in, the headline in the Daily Mail. This will please all of those who are Andy Brassel as well. Viktor Gyokeres' father left in tears as Arsenal transfer saga rumbles on, with Sporting Lisbon's star dream move in danger of collapse.
Well done, Dad's crying. Unbelievable.
Cheers, Dad's crying.
Yeah.
Weird tactic from the Gyokeres family, that.
Most annoying Arsenal dad since Aaron Ramsdale.
He's trying to be, isn't he?
Do a podcast, Victor's dad.
These big ticket items take a very, very long time to get going.
Do when Arsenal are involved.
But I think the add-ons that I've seen spoken about, it will be. One of them will be active when he's made 20 appearances. One will be active when he's made 40, and the last one will be active with Champions League qualifications. So
and
they're basically trying to make them a bit harder,
doesn't it?
And his dad wants Dire Straits tickets.
Every
limited edition copy of Dark Side of the Moon.
Every band that plays
Aston
Arsenal.
Martin
and a new shed.
But is this an issue for Arsenal? Is this overshadowing what should be a lovely pre-season for them?
I wish I had insight on why the hold-up is there, but I think there's a long time left of the window open, and as you say, these big ticket deals are complicated, aren't they? So I'm not particularly stressed about it, I have to say.
I think you were probably hoping that the Noni Madueke thing was a good day to bury bad news, but that's not kind of what happened. But I find Arsenal's position interesting. We'll talk a bit about on the mailbag tomorrow, I think, about what position they're going to be in terms of the league. But can I just make a point very, very quickly that it's kind of unsustainable that top clubs and top players are going to be doing the Rodri style boohoos about the amount of football they've got to play, and they're fucking off to Asia to do all these miles, all this travel, play against essentially a bunch of meaningless games which aren't even really played in the intensity of a
league game,
or even the preseason friendly where you're working stuff out, because they're essentially just commercial trips to shore up the fan base in that part of the world. Not denigrating those fans, because obviously they support Arsenal. Good on them, it's up to them. But
they never visited Rwanda in the end.
Why
they didn't do a show there, did they?
Why can't you just go into the West Country with Warnock? Same place every year.
I used to go to Austria. It's a lovely little off season in Austria.
Do you remember, didn't Capello take England to Austria for the Alps to knacker them out before the 2010 World Cup? Take away their ketchup.
Down those hills. We spoke about Chelsea. On Chelsea's side of things, it seems that Chelsea's valuation of Nicholas Jackson is way higher than everyone else's. Man United were sniffing around, but Chelsea want 100 million. Is a 1 in 3 striker worth 100 million these days, Jim? I think they probably are, aren't they?
Honestly, it's really hard to know, isn't it? Because it feels like every window, everything inflates massively.
Yeah. I think Chelsea would take
if
that,
anyone pays £100 million for Nicholas Jackson, I think the fan base might be a bit angry.
Yeah, it's their money. It's their money, isn't it?
It's hard to know what his actual value is, right?
It's the situation I find absolutely baffling on this is that with a straight face, I mean, I understand that Man United might be involved, so that could move the dial somewhat. But like, he signs for Chelsea, right, on an 8-year deal. Fine, so there's wages and all that kind of stuff involved. But they sign for 32 million, and they're basically essentially saying, we don't think he's good enough. We're not happy with him. 100 million.
Yeah.
He's like, no. He's like,
I mean, but
if I sell you my car because it doesn't fucking run properly and I paid 100 quid for it, I ain't getting 500 quid of it from you, am I? You're going to go,
it's got ball score.
You want rid of it. Yeah.
People seem to pay it, though. I think, maybe the guys
Man United,
up at Chelsea
I've already mentioned
have got like a hypnotist in these meetings.
10 goals in the Premier League.
That seems reasonable.
10 goals in the Premier League, that's 100 million nowadays. It just is.
But would you think Man United fans would be happy, for example, with finally solving the Marcus Rashford problem and the solution, part of the solution
for a bit.
Yeah, for a bit. And part of the solution is a Nicholas Jackson for 100 million.
Yeah, maybe they need someone to kick the can up the road on the Rashford situation.
I think Jackson's genuinely a really interesting market opportunity for someone at the right price, though.
Yeah, that's not the right price, though.
No, absolutely it's not. They're never going to get that.
Why you say it like that? He sounds like a car salesman now. This is not a car.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting market opportunity.
Even before Jackson potentially leaving Chelsea, on the outgoings, Chelsea have had a phenomenal transfer window, but they've not been able to keep hold of the actual Club World Cup. In an interview with DAZN, Donald Trump claimed that Chelsea were given a replica while he's been gifted the real one for the Oval Office. So he's got the original, he's got the true artefact to sit in the Oval Office.
It's amazing how difficult it is to work out exactly where Gianni Infantino's bread is buttered, isn't it? So this tournament I've made you all do, I'll give you a lot of money and stuff, but you can't have the trophy.
Yeah.
No one, listen, not enough's been made of this. No one has ever organised a tournament before, certainly at this level, and then told the winners you can't have the trophy.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Remember that picture, that famous footage of Pele on people's shoulders holding up the Jules Rimet trophy?
Yeah.
Imagine if the gaffer just went, you can't have it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to, who would it have been? I'm giving it to Eisenhower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Donald Trump thinks that because America host things that they then like own them.
No, because he hosts it. It's nothing to do with America.
Exactly, that's
it's
it. It's him hosting his mind. And also,
Yeah.
he's like a dragon, isn't he? He loves gold things. I don't know if you've seen how like gaudy the
like
Oval
Smaug.
Office is now. He's very much like Smaug. So I think, like, is he going to think he can keep the World Cup?
I guess
Because
so,
that's going to be a real test of Gianni Infantino, isn't it? Surely he'll go, I can't give him the World Cup.
Bring around the replica.
I don't think it's a test he's going to pass you. I don't think he'll think much of it at all. I think he'll just go, yeah, right.
Well, do you know how they sort of say that Qatari plane that they've given to Donald Trump / the US, but not really, it's going to take like years to disassemble and reassemble to make sure that it's...
No, it's coming into use, I think,
a week
roughly
before
about a month after Trump leaves office.
Good. So he's going to keep that.
And someone made the point that actually, for security reasons, you are effectively going to have to
disassemble it and
rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, do the Secret Service go to town on whatever magpie shit he stole?
Imagine that if they've got if there's like a like a spy device
Yeah, like a
inside the
spy
Club
device.
World Cup.
It's two keys. Get the lock-picking lawyer on it.
Get the lock-picking lawyer
Who's
on
that
it.
bloke in the background?
He loves a lawyer.
Yeah.
He loves freebies.
What a complicated, combination of professions. It's very Saul Goodman, that.
But what tends so the replicas are dished out, aren't they? Replicas are dished out. But to me, the point I'm making is that the symbolic nature of the actual trophy is supposed to be presented to the team. I understand afterwards, once they lift it, it goes where it needs to go. Reports are suggesting that most of them go back to the FIFA museum, and that's fine. The fact that Trump's got stuck into it is again another example of the grift.
It's probably just a situation where
he stuck a medal in his pocket on camera.
He did. He's a little magpie, but he would. You sort of get this feeling that it was a replica, but Donald Trump said, for the sake of him just wanting to be a winner, he probably just said, "Yeah, this is the original." The replica actually went to Chelsea.
It's because it's gold. It's the only thing he can fully concentrate on.
Yeah, I know. Well, Cole Palmer was given the Player of the Tournament, of course, by Donald Trump, and he's revealed what was said at the time. He said, when he gave me the award, he said his son is my biggest fan. I can't remember what I said. I think I said thank you or something. That's normal parlance, isn't it?
I mean, this is obviously my question. Because a couple of them are off their tits.
Yeah. My son, he loves that ice stuff. Do you mean crystal meth? Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you think also Cole Palmer, given his reputation, do you think that he just thought Donald Trump had decided that Donald Trump thought he was the best player at all?
Yeah, maybe.
That's not got the same weight, I don't think.
I mean, this is obviously a really ridiculous situation, but it has given us that absolutely iconic Cole Palmer moment of the side eye while it was all happening, which is just fantastic.
Good on him. Good on him. He's been having a lovely week in St Kitts.
Yes,
where his granddad's from.
I tell you,
the wee bands and the little celebrations and stuff.
With Jack Grealish and then Cole Palmer, we've been spoiled with personality players.
Disappointing. I mean, if your granddad's from St Kitts, that's great. I mean, my grandparents from Aberdeen.
Yeah,
not quite the same place to visit, I don't think. Yeah.
New Tredegar.
I told you what my granddad said about Aberdeen. It's not quite the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
Lovely stuff. I once stole that and said that to Biffy Clyro and they enjoyed it.
Oh, fucking hell. I love Biffy Clyro as well. Did you credit me?
No, did I fuck?
Fucking Jim.
Speaking of magpies, he's worse than me.
Yeah.
Coming up after this on the Football Ramble, there's drama in Newcastle. And I'm not just talking about Fabian Schär's nip-nips. No. That's the sound.
What a Freudian slip.
That's the sound
Freudian slip. Such a substitute
That's the sound of the nip-nip.
Oh, you've lost the classroom now,
Sorry.
boss.
Oh, dear.
I'm a heavy man, bro. 94 kg. Harry Maguire, somehow, I don't even know how it's happened, but the ball's come in. I've jumped to chest it, and he's held me like a child.
Like a baby.
Yeah. Held me like a child and kind of just like threw me.
Mikel Antonio there and being marked by Harry Maguire.
I love the idea of Harry Maguire's that strong.
It's very dirty dancing, isn't it?
94 kgs is a hefty weight. Amazing.
I need it in pounds. I'm a wrestling guy.
I'll give you if you want.
Go on then.
It's probably about 200 and...
Don't need probably about.
205?
I can do kilometres to miles per hour. Jim, test me.
All right, so 23 kilometres.
Don't do I just need it in tens. Sharp. Anyway, welcome back to the Football Ramble.
207.2 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's good, that.
I could do Celsius to Fahrenheit, no problem.
Yeah.
Go on.
Hit me.
33 Celsius.
It's 92.
Ooh. Nice. Okay, well...
no way checking that.
Welcome to the Football Ramble. Thank you to friend of the Ramble, Tom, for sending us that clip of Harry Maguire versus Mikel Antonio. You can become a friend of the Ramble too for just $5 a month. You'll get all of our football shows completely ad-free, including Up Front, of course, and access to the Football Ramble Discord, where you can chat with us and other Ramble listeners. Search patreon.com/Football Ramble to get involved. More number 9s on the move. Arsenal, of course, haven't got their man up front quite yet, but Liverpool are trying to do a little business in the market. They're continuing talks with Frankfurt for Ekitike, who's thought to be keen on moving to Liverpool, as it seems everybody else is. It looks like Newcastle have ceased their interest, and they've got their transfer chest bulging at the Sean Longstaff money, so they're probably looking to spend that somewhere. 15 million from Leeds.
Until we started talking about the lock-picking law, I had no idea how many metaphors involved a lock.
A lock, yeah.
There's another one there.
Right, okay.
Treasure chest.
Yeah.
You get lock-picking law on that as well.
No, treasure chest.
Can I just make a point about Eintracht Frankfurt?
Yes.
That they seem to be absolutely brilliant at selling on players to Premier League teams for lots of money. Like, I mean, if Ekatike goes for a lot of money, that's like that's like 4. Because if you go back to Sebastian Haller, he was Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Omar Mamouche was Eintracht Frankfurt. Ekatike, there's probably another one as well. I think there is another one. I can't remember who it is. But and at the same time, they've managed to maintain like good performance in the Bundesliga as well. So like whatever they're doing, this is an amazing kind of almost like kind of like a weird kind of supplementary market for teams outside of England, just essentially as part of their business model, just buying players in and knowing, even when they're doing it, knowing they're going to sell them on the Premier League clubs. Yeah,
double the fee.
The more Frankfurt seem to sell, the higher they go up in the league as well, which is really, really weird. They were like 11th about 5 seasons ago, and now they're sort of Champions League botherers.
They've stolen the Brighton model and sold it back to us.
Yeah.
Kolo Muani, not to the Premier League, but loads of money. Luka Jovic, another one. There's so many of them.
Well, I mean, Liverpool seem to, by even conservative estimates, have up to 500 million they could realistically be selling.
That's amazing.
Sorry, buying, I mean.
And I would just like to say at this point, and, you know, you never know. And, of course, you would expect Man City to be improved next season, and there'll be time in the coming weeks to talk about how we think next season's going to go. But I think as someone who's not a fan of a Premier League club and just looking at this, you know, especially now Southampton are out of it, looking at it totally objectively, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep up with Liverpool based on what they're doing.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, the fullbacks they've signed look great. Florian Wirtz is literally one of the world's best players, and they've brought him in with minimum fuss. If you look at how Arsenal are doing business compared to Liverpool, I'm not criticising Arsenal here, but you know, I know different things happen in different ways, but they just got Wirtz done, bang,
Yeah,
done.
they did, yeah.
And if they get a really top striker as well, you wonder, given how much they won the league by last season, is it realistic that people are going to be able to overhaul that? I just think they're going to be really, really
I
strong.
don't know. I mean, there was talk for a little while, wasn't there, which died down pretty quickly. I'm sure you're thrilled about Pete that they were going after Isak, weren't they? And I thought if they get Isak, we're all toast. We're all done.
I think there may be more to that than I think that might still happen. Personally, I think it's. I mean, obviously Eddie Howe took him out of the pre-season friend against Celtic because of speculation over his future.
No, that was because it's a very, very, very poor performance in the whitewater rafting. They went whitewater rafting.
They did go whitewater
Isak
rafting.
was fucking bad at it, apparently. He wouldn't use the oar the right way around. The paddle, he was doing it upside down, Pete.
Well, I mean,
and he was trying to let off someone's inflatable life jacket when they were looking.
He had a little penknife that he'd bought from a joke shop,
and he was sticking it in
other people's rafts. He's. I mean, we'll come back to the scouting and the acquisition from Newcastle.
I heard he smashed Anthony Gordon's head off a rock.
I did have a bit of that, yeah.
Like in the Revenant.
Well, he just didn't look as good as Fabian Schär in the.
Oh my
wetsuit.
God.
Who does?
I mean, my God. There was
God.
a shot that the Newcastle United admin posted on X for obvious reasons. It's an absolute. It's all grot on X now, and very much grot and grok, and very much the image of Fabian Schär with his wetsuit undone to the navel almost.
Can I tell you my favourite observation of that whole video? So Newcastle United's YouTube channel posted a video. It's about 10 minutes long of. Whitewater rafting, bit of team bonding. They were doing it in Austria. Never mentioned for Austria there. And the opening of the video is all the players coming out in their wetsuits ready to get on the rafts, right? And, you know, it's funny. Dan Burn looks really funny because he's so tall and he looks funny with the helmet on, right? Lol, that's good. Jason Tindall comes out in the wetsuit, right? And he's loving it, as he would be. Yeah. And then behind him, And Tyndall, it's important to point out at this stage that Tyndall's wetsuit's done up all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Then behind him, Fabian Schär comes out.
Yeah.
And he looks $1 billion.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. He just looks so good. And he's got his wetsuit undone to the navel. And he knows what he's doing, right? Next shot of Tyndall in the background. He's undone it as well. It's lovely stuff.
It's too hot.
It's lovely
too hot in
stuff.
Austria.
It was like it was the whitewater rafting equivalent of an uncle seeing the teenage lads dancing at a wedding and thinking, I'm getting my tie off.
I need a bit of
I can
that,
still do it. Back in my day, he's chucking the talcum powder down, doing the Northern Soul dancing. That's what he's doing. I'm still down with the kids. It was amazing.
Yeah, well,
great video. Probably the best pre-season video I've seen so far.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of them, to be fair. But all of this happening in a maelstrom of interest in Alexander Isak. I mean, never trust an Eddie Howe presser. He just lies and lies and lies constantly throughout the season, and it's certainly no change here. But it seems clear that Isak and certainly Isak's team fancies it, the Liverpool.
Right, so they're going to try and force it.
If the money's right. His agent spoke to a Saudi paper yesterday. They said that they may be close to finalising the next step in his career. Negotiations with Isak himself have opened with Al Hilal. But
What?
I mean, it's
That's surely just to sort of put pressure on.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Maybe, this is a wicked whisper from me, I've got no insight into this, as people who listen to this show regularly will know. Maybe there's a bit of chess going on. Liverpool are trying to publicly link themselves with Ekitike to force Alexander Isak to try and make something happen, get the wheels turning. In the meantime, Al Hilal involved, dangle that little carrot.
Possible drownings.
Yes. I wonder whether, because Isak must be on good money and he's got 3 years left on his deal.
Yeah,
So it's
and he's not signing another one.
I think he wants more money, doesn't he? There's sort of been some paper talk about that as well, which is difficult for the wage structure at Newcastle.
So basically, maybe Newcastle is saying to Isak, okay, if you want to go, you can go, but we're only dealing with Al Hilal.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to strengthen a side in the Premier League. I think that's fair to say. I think the only reason why he won't become like a Liverpool player in particular is because these north of like 100. I mean, it's 130 like
Million.
amount
Yeah,
of money.
the 120 they were talking about, weren't
Right.
they? So these British transfer record.
These things take seasons to put together. These big ticket items, don't they? They take a very, very long time. But I mean, you are buying the wheels without the bike, in my opinion. You need Murphy.
What does that mean?
Murphy for Salah swap deal. That's what I'm saying.
What does buying the wheels without the bike mean?
Well, without the frame.
I've never heard it before.
It's not really. It's not in common parlance.
Not gonna work.
You invented it.
I invented it. You're buying the wheels without the bike.
And presumably you've picked some sort of
Isak's the wheels
lock to get the
and
wheels off.
Exactly, and Murphy is the frame of the bike and the handlebars and the seat.
Who's the seat?
Everyone's no. Murphy's the seat. The rest of the players are the
Fabian
seat.
share the seat?
Fabian shares
Do you want
the
to sit on
seat.
Fabian's share?
I want to sit on Fabian's shares.
Who's the brakes?
But it's who is the brakes?
Joe Linton, surely.
Joe Linton, yeah. He's very breaky. He's very blocky, that man. But I mean, there's a lot of it's going to be an interesting season for the manager, because there's a lot of mentions happening of like his nephew in the press, who's obviously part of the scouting network at Newcastle United, and he's had some success in his role, bringing in some Bruno for example. But
Andy Howe.
I
just looked him up. He's called Andy Howe.
Eddie Howe wants to kind of be this manage everything kind of manager and when you look at like Champions League clubs, that you kind of just have to be a coach and a coach alone. But I mean, he's seen off 2 sporting directors. It's going to be an interesting kind of, if they don't get any targets through or many targets through this season, it's going to be an interesting one.
They've missed out on a few already, haven't they? And Mbumo was obviously a big target.
Well, that's not happened yet.
Yeah, but
it sounds
that's pretty much sealed, isn't it, by all accounts? And Newcastle, it didn't seem like they were really in the running for it, despite him being a major target for them. So I think Pete's right, though. It puts extra pressure on Howe, doesn't it, if they don't get the ones they want?
Second Champions League season for Howe as well.
Have you ever heard of Eddie Howe's nephew, Andy Howe?
I don't believe so.
I hadn't either. Do you want to hear a headline I've just found about him?
Yes, please.
Eddie Howe's nephew, Andy, preparing for New Forest half marathon.
Well, when I said the knives
That's
are
top
out
of the
for
Google
him,
News results. So he's obviously moving and shaking. What to paraphrase another famous comment someone
Man
made.
exercises.
I think
What a slow news day.
I think it was about the Murdoch family. What are the chances that the best scout for that job happens to be Eddie Howe's nephew?
Yeah.
Like someone said about Rupert Murdoch's son. What are the chances that the best person to run this massive media multinational organisation happens to be
already in the family?
His son, yeah.
He's learning the job.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck to him.
Everyone's got to pay the bills.
And good luck to Marcus Rashford, who will surely be able to pay his bills. He will at least be leaving Manchester United on loan, because a deal in principle has been agreed between Manchester United and Barcelona, arriving on loan. €35 million purchase deal.
I tell you what,
it's a button that never gets pressed for Man United. Let's make that very clear.
Free tapas for school kids everywhere. The fucking Barcelona kids are loving it. They're going to be fucking patatas bravas all up the place. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, Teddy Sheringham was needlessly horrible about Marcus Rashford, wasn't he?
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't really know where that kind of sentiment has come from.
You can't mention Teddy Sheringham around Pete, because he had a run-in with him.
Did you?
Yeah, I heard about
he had a big run-in with Teddy
a
Sheringham.
young lady who had a run-in with Teddy Sheringham at the weekend.
Oh, really?
And I told her my Terry Sheringham story.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So basically,
Terry Sheringham.
Yeah,
Terry Sheringham.
Pete did an event with Terry.
Oh, of course,
Terry
yes,
Sheringham.
that's it.
And he kept calling him Terry, and Teddy got quite pissed off, didn't
He's
he?
Teddy, but he's got an option to be called Terry.
Did he openly get pissed off with
He
you?
did openly get pissed off.
What did he say?
He said, I know. I said, I keep calling you Terry, Teddy. And he went, I know you do. And he looked ashen-faced.
Yeah. What did he say about Rashi then?
But
He essentially said that he he was talking about how he found it very sort of, I think he used the term soul destroying. He said he found it very soul destroying that, Rashford wants to leave because, Man United should be viewed as the pinnacle of football and you should be grateful to play at a club like that, etc., etc. You shouldn't be talking about wanting to leave. And he actually, which I think is all fair enough, they're a huge club, and especially for someone who's come through the academy as Rashford has. But he also said he doesn't think he deserves to get a move to Barcelona.
Well,
I just think it's just a strange thing to say.
Can I perhaps give some more power to Terry Sheddingham's elbow
Sheddy Terringham.
Sure.
by supporting at least part of what he said there? Now, it's possibly it's needless and it's a bit unkind, and we don't quite know the full extent of what's happened to Marcus Rashford behind the scenes. So, all that stuff we have to be mindful of. But I think there's a reasonable point in there somewhere that says, for example, when we were all sitting here a couple of months ago and Rashford was clearly seeding out through friendly journalists that he wanted to play for Barcelona, and that was basically it, we were a bit like, well, you don't get to choose that shit. And I think one of the things that was leaked out was that he really wants to play with Lamine Yamal. So, well, you're not really showing that you do.
Yeah.
And so a move that
I want to go to one of his parties.
If you come on,
What?
not now.
What do you mean?
You can't say that.
Why? You're allowed to go to the parties, aren't you?
You've lost the classroom again.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, are you a virgin?
Yeah.
Jury's out.
I just think that if you're going to be generous to Man United, you'd say even to Barcelona, it's a sideways move, is it? Is it a sideways move when both?
No.
Well, it's a bigger move.
It's a massive move.
So he's done a bigger move.
Yeah.
He's shown what he's shown at Man United over the last couple of years. Fair enough, you've got that Aston Villa loan period in there. He's shown what he's shown at United, and you're now admitting that he's getting a massive move to Barcelona. Has he deserved it? There's probably not that much in it to say that he has deserved it.
But I think if Barcelona wants him, right, then deserve doesn't come into it. The reality of it is that they want him there, right?
€325,000 a week.
I don't think,
pounds rather.
It's a lot of money. I don't think, obviously I'm not suggesting they're showing him charity.
Sure.
Clearly he thinks they can.
You should turn it down. Like, you know what, I've been shit.
Yeah.
I don't deserve
And
this.
You're patronising me with offering me that. I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I think that I just feel that clearly every top manager thinks they can get a tune out of a player that they've, in their mind, have seen him at the very top of his game.
Yeah.
Look, he may well be brilliant. I hope he is. He's in a World Cup year now, so he doesn't need any further motivation to kind of get there and do his thing in the World Cup for England. If that's what he wants to look at as well. He's very, in my view, he's very fortunate.
Yeah.
I think he looked very motivated at Villa. I thought he was really good for them. Perhaps a little bit overrated. But I also
they were
thought
willing it into an existence.
Yeah, definitely. Like in terms of the actual goals he scored, we had that great partnership with Asensio. He looked really, really lively. It was fantastic in that game against PSG. And I think he needs the environment where he needs to hit the ground running, right?
Yeah.
And needs to really be fighting for a place. And obviously at Barcelona, that goes without saying. So I hope for him and for England, of course, that it works out.
Rashford's loan was almost stopped by Oasis because the band had bought all of Manchester Airport's private jet space for their tour.
That's great.
All of Manchester Airport's private jet space.
Yeah.
How very decadent. You can't be spending money on private jets,
You don't
Oasis.
get Blur doing that.
No, you really don't. Rashford was forced to drive 80 miles to East Midlands Airport instead to get the hell out of there.
You don't find Blair doing that. Blair. You don't find Blair doing that because, I mean, as I keep saying, people need to be reminded, and even if this tour isn't a reminder enough, that those other bands were nowhere near as big.
No,
there was
good
one
point.
summer where there was two singles, one by Oasis, Rolled It, one by Blur, Country House, and it became a rivalry because then Enemy invented it for one summer. To suggest that Oasis weren't bigger than Blur, Pulp, all those other ones put together is wrong. It's just wrong.
No one's saying that those bands are bigger than Oasis, though, right? Sure.
Blur are not buying up all the private jet space.
No, but I don't think anyone's saying that.
But it was
are
more
they?
an event. They got together. When they got back together, it was quite a big deal, wasn't it? But
It was, but not on this scale.
No one really noticed
nothing,
outside of the weird beta male virgins that loved them back in the 90s. I'm looking at both you two. I was also a virgin back in the 90s,
Sure.
but I wasn't a beta male.
The one would suggest that Oasis probably wouldn't be on stage at Coachella remonstrating with the crowd.
No.
because they're not dancing.
Say what you like about Liam Gallagher, but he doesn't try and bore everyone for interviews every 6 months talking about how he's now really into world music.
And also him talking to the crowd kind of is him remonstrating with the crowd. It's just how he communicates, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, coming up after this, speaking of Coachella and recording artist Snoop Dogg is off to Swansea. Oh, no. There you go. That's it. That's your break ID too. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's like you're telling yourself that.
Drink it in.
Yeah.
I always have radio DJ anxiety dreams where I can't run the system, and I had one last night.
Did you?
And it's become true. It's become absolutely true.
I will never forgive you.
Pre-season 4, former Man United manager Erik Ten Hag didn't get off to the finest of starts. He's currently at Bayer Leverkusen, of course, and they lost 5-1 to Flamengo's under-20s. Ten Hag's reaction was, I don't really give a shit.
Nice.
Which is very enjoyable.
Permanently broken by his Manchester United experience.
Generally, pre-season friendlies are pretty meaningless, aren't they?
They are,
but they can still be very, very embarrassing.
You've got to react to them. I think you've got to react to them correctly, and saying I really don't give a shit isn't really indicative of confidence going into a new season.
No.
As a fairly new manager.
Mark suggests there's work to do, doesn't it?
Mark Flecken played.
Yeah.
Remember that he went there?
Yeah.
That's kind of something that everyone overlooked, isn't it?
Yeah. Rob Andrich said, one of the most experienced players, of course, said it was a small catastrophe.
Yeah.
It was a small shit, everyone. It was a small
I think
shit.
if it's not the under-20s, because they're in South America at the moment, we should make this absolutely clear. Leverkusen are touring pre-season in South America.
Yeah.
They're in Brazil. So if it wasn't the under-20s, I don't think it would be as embarrassing.
I mean, under 20s, are you allowed over players like you can in certain situations?
I'll be honest with you, I've only looked into it slightly because I've read that Ten Hag said I don't really give a shit, which is interesting and funny to me. And I also was interested to see if Granit Xhaka play, because apparently Sunderland are trying to sign him. Which is
that's a definition of a lovely old job, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Did they get Simon Adingra over the line as well? It's a brilliant signing if they did.
They need resources.
I love the Xhaka potential move because it smacks of absolutely brilliant keeping Sunderland in the Premier League, or he's sent off 3 times in his first 4 appearances.
Yeah, reverts.
And leaves.
Yeah.
Mutual consent.
Screamer against Arsenal, guaranteed as well.
Probably some kind of breaking of Bukayo Saka's foot as well at some point, like putting Saka out 3 months before the World Cup.
Yeah,
Genuine accident as well. Like, not even on the pitch, just in the tunnel.
Yeah, I could definitely see him put in a couple of England players out of action for the World Cup if he comes back to the Premier League for sure.
Yeah.
I think these headlines about this Erik Ten Hag thing, they're essentially specifically designed to undermine Erik Ten Hag by publications like the Daily Mail, aren't they? Because people will remember Ten Hag. He was a bit of a laughing stock. He's got a bit of a funny pointy head. Let's go to town on this and do 500 words on this.
It's extended Man United banter, isn't it? There's a whole kind of separate ecosystem from it.
Man United echoes, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
If you read the Daily Mail right up, there's not really any. I don't think the person who wrote it even watched the game. They just listed a load of players that featured, said the quote was funny, and
job done. That's all you need. That's all we need.
Finally stuck the boot in by saying at the end something like, Erik Ten Hag has replaced Xavi Alonso in the job to make him, to undermine him even more, to imply that he's got no hope of doing anything.
You're a big club now, Eric.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, we haven't seen much of Gary Cotterill for a while.
No, where's GC?
Well, we talked about Andy leaving the Ramble. Obviously very sad about it. We didn't want to cloudy his flowers. He got his flowers last week.
I don't really give a shit.
He's been a great.
We didn't want to cloudy his flowers.
We don't want to cloudy his flowers. That's a Donaldson.
Yeah,
You've done a Donaldson.
Did you know what I mean by that?
No, cloudy his flowers. Give someone their flowers, but when you're putting them in water,
it's cloudy.
Because you put the little plant food in them.
I see. I thought you meant like the kind of clouds in the sky. I was like, hang on a minute. I'm trying to picture this. And
small black flowers that glow in the sky. Manic Street Preachers, better than Blur.
I was making it up as I go along. Manic Street Preachers probably the worst band of the 90s.
Get fucked. You like Guns N' Roses. Why don't you should be loving Generation Terrorists. I was listening to it at the weekend.
It's not bad, to be fair.
It's the best album G&R didn't write.
I'll go up to and include the Holy Bible. I'm not going further.
No, I agree.
Anyway,
Design for Life's a wonderful song.
Can I make the point? Can I just make the point?
Go on.
I fucked up with the cloudy and the flowers bit. Right. What I meant to say was like rain on the parade kind of thing.
Sure.
Right. So what I wanted to say, to be fair though, what were we talking about?
God knows.
What were we actually talking about?
Eintracht Frankfurt.
No, we went to Eintracht Frankfurt. That was the first half.
Andy.
Andy. Yeah. So Andy got his send off, and he deserved his send off 5 years. We didn't want to make an announcement around it because he deserved to be recognised for the contribution he's made. But I can exclusively reveal today that part of the reason he's left the Ramble is to start a new football podcast with Gary Cotterill.
Completely agree.
Yeah, it's going to be called Man United are a big club. And it's going to involve Andy continually
sighing a lot.
Yeah, and correcting Gary Cotterill and his pronunciation of foreign teams and players. Well, so look, download it whenever you get your podcast.
Very nice. I tell you what else is nice. Speaking of cloudy flowers, a flower you can smoke, weed, that makes clouds, Legalise it. Snoop Dogg!
Snoop Dogg!
Snoop Dogg!
Nasty
The culture
dog.
dog has taken a minority stake in Swansea City. They launched their new home kit just over a week ago, and they modelled the shirt. He said on the club's website, I don't think he wrote this, the story of the club and the area really struck a chord with me. This is a proud working class city and club, an underdog that bites back, just like me. So Snoop Dogg is in with Swansea City.
He is. He's been Snoop Lion in the past as well, so I wonder if we're now going to get Snoop Swan.
Yeah, he break your arm.
Yeah, well, exactly.
He breaks everyone's arm.
Breaks everyone's arms.
This is really interesting. I think Wrexham might have got in Swansea's heads a bit because they've got Snoop Dogg and Luka Modric in, while Luka Modric just plays for another club. It reminds me a bit of there's a storyline in 30
Give
Rock.
us a swan song.
Nice.
Yes, sure.
That wasn't worth interrupting.
It fucking was. Have you heard the rest of this show?
Go on, Jim.
Carry on, Jim.
It mostly is interruptions, isn't it?
Hang on a minute, Pete.
It's like a jumper where only the holes are keeping it together.
I think it might be about to get worse. Carry on, Jim.
So one of the cast members of the fake show in 30 Rock gets annoyed about her status on the show, so she starts hanging out with a new entourage, which is Charlie from Charlie Bit My Finger and the wrestler Mankind, and it genuinely is them. And I think they're kind of doing this in response to Wrexham a little bit.
Just hanging around with some oddities.
Yeah, and Cardiff going to get like Chesney Hawkes and Mr. Motivator and go, look, we got some as well.
And did Mr. Motivator die recently?
Did he? No.
Let me look that up.
He'll be motivating forever, that guy.
Let me just have a look.
No, I don't think he did. I think we've had this conversation.
No,
on
he's
air.
around. He's
Yeah,
around.
still around.
72, still doing well. Good on him.
Because he motivated as a younger man.
So Andy, he motivated himself to stay alive forever.
Exactly,
That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Andy brought to our attention this Snoop Dogg Swansea partnership thing because Fabrizio Romano tweeted about it, and Andy said on the WhatsApp group, which he's still a part of,
No right to reply on the show anymore.
he said, this is a new low for any form of media because Fabrizio Romano announced this partnership, but then ended the tweet, Romano, by saying Dogg is not expected on the pitch anytime soon, but will retain his eternal status as a player.
Yeah, I mean, player is
with an A.
bad, but the dog is not expected. Who writes like that?
He's writing it like he's a player, isn't he? Dog.
Yes, dog.
Yeah.
S-dog.
S-Dog. Yeah.
I mean, I know this is the era of cringe, but I mean, no cap, that's bad.
No cap for real.
Yeah, for real. No cap.
We are in the cringe era, aren't we?
We are in the cringe era.
Which
People
finally
have
Ramble's time to shine.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly. We're
People
vintage
have-
cringe at this point.
We have no shame, and neither does anybody else, and we're absolutely fitting like a hand in a glove.
Sponsor the show.
Yeah. Last Wednesday, a 10-foot mural of cringed granddad Sam Allardyce appeared in Dudley. An image just appeared on a wall in Dudley of Sam Allardyce eating a plate of orange chips. It was apparently a Black Country classic. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
They look great. I think it's
all I can think about now.
It's seasoned batter. The fried in batter seasoned with paprika and something else. I'm not sure exactly what else, but that's what gives it the orange tinge. Initially, it looks like he's just eating a big bag of giant Watsits. But either way, it's welcome. I think the country needs more of these sort of murals just popping up.
Well, no one saw who erected it or /painted it or however they got it on the wall. Nobody saw it going up. Allardyce, of course, grew up in Dudley, and a lot of people who live in the town were just like, perhaps this is Dudley's answer to Banksy. Another person said, local lad eating orange chips, what more do you want? Finally, for now, though, I don't know which local this was, but I'd like to hear more from them. Who is it? It's just weird. It doesn't make sense and it needs to go. Problem identified, problem explained, and then the solution. Very enjoyable.
Can I make it? Can I make a point where I actually think it's quite nice? Because he's one of Dudley's most famous sons. Now, I looked up people from Dudley, and I found it very hard, with the exception of Jazzman from Babylon Zoo, to find speaking of the 90s,
finest,
to find people from Dudley. There was one half of Hale and Pace.
Oh, okay. Was
So
it the man with the
basically,
moustache?
If you're no, the other one. If you are looking to put together maybe an extended mural on that piece of wall of all the famous people from Dudley, I think you got Norman Pace in there from Hale and Pace. You got Jazzman, right? You've got John Bonham's son, who drummed for them in that comeback show and has done some other stuff. Other than that, it's actually quite difficult to find big hitters from the proud town of Dudley. You'd probably have Lenny Henry in there. You don't think so?
Absolutely, you've got to have Lenny Henry in there.
But I think that Allardyce is well worth it.
Yeah,
he's well worth his.
Yeah.
You take John Bonham's son out, you put Henry in, and then you've got a pretty decent Mount Rushmore there.
Yeah.
Stick that on a roundabout or something.
I was going through it last night, and I was just finding players who played a bit in midfield for like Kidderman stuff.
People don't appreciate the work we put into the show.
No, I don't think they do. So
We don't know the current situation at Ekatike, but we do know who came from Dudley.
Sam Allardyce is worth his spot on there. I've met Sam Allardyce. I told you before. The only thing I've ever heard him say in real life was, "Where's me cab?"
Where's me cab?
Sue Lawley.
Oh, that's a good one.
She probably.
Get her eating chips.
I'm not sure I know who that is.
She's a TV presenter. She's a newsreader for a while, yeah. And of course, finally for now, I believe the town might even be named after the De Sutton family, who Baron Sutton of Dudley and all that stuff. But that's as far as I could get, I'm afraid.
Well, more Dudley news on the next show, no doubt. Thank you very much for listening to the Football Ramble, part of the Acast Creator Network. We are back tomorrow for a brand new mailbag show, and remember to catch last week's Best of the Football Ramble for our favourite moments from the past season.
It's a short show, that. It's fucking 5 minutes.
Luke Moore, may every day be a wonderful secret, and Jim Campbell, a pal is a wonderful thing.
Is that Oasis?